Did You Have To is a proud member of the But Why Though podcast community.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Did You Have To, where we're just two bad bitches talking about anime.
Woot woot!
And today we're going back to our old format for a bit, and we are going to review and discuss the live-action 2017 version of Tokyo Ghoul for a nice spooky October. As always, I'm Kate.
And I'm Nisha, and I'm excited, as y'all can tell. I can't, y'all don't understand. We've tried to watch Tokyo Ghoul how many times since we started the show?
Like, I feel like it's been put on and taken off Funimation at least 3 or 4 times.
I'm convinced they listen to me and you, texting each other. Mm-hmm. And then they know, because I have the app on my phone, so they know, let's just, hey, let's just mess with these bitches and take it off real quick. Okay, now we're going to throw it back up.
They think they're going to watch Tokyo Ghoul today.
They thought wrong. It's got to be somebody there that just likes to make sure, hey, let's just torture these 2 weebs and then take it down.
Yep.
And then put it right back up. I'm like, Funimation, I love you. You truly have been a blessing to my life that I can get through One Piece. But if y'all can just stop playing games with my live actions so we can actually watch them, that'd be great. But thanks for whoever decided to throw it back up there. I don't know why, but they did after, I guess, 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how Funimation works when it comes to their live action releases, but they be up there one day and then they be gone. Mm-hmm. But yes, so happy. But before we get into it, want to dive into crunchy time? Is it crunch time?
Yeah,
I can't. It's been a while.
Crunch time.
Crunch time.
Crunch time, yeah. So, if you're a first-time listener, Crunch Time is a part of the show where we talk about the anime that we've been watching on mostly Crunchyroll, but we're branching out a little bit. Nisha, why don't you go first?
Oh, okay. So, I have been rewatching Castlevania. It is spooky season. Tis the season.
Yeah.
Also, we just did Seis Manos, which made me miss Seis Manos after I was done watching it. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and watch Castlevania now, and then go back to Seis Manos.
Just keep alternating. That's the perfect October watches.
Right, but I love how good and tight Castlevania is, but it just makes me want the 3rd season more.
When does
after I did. Girl, I don't know. They keep playing games with us. I thought it was gonna. I truthfully thought it would have been this year before the year was over, but maybe we'll get it before next Halloween. Who knows? I mean, I understand animation takes some time and it's hard work, but I would really like it. So then, not having it drove me to do research, about the video game, because this is what I do when I become obsessed about something or love something. I go to Wikipedia and do a deep dive.
Yeah.
And I'm just because I always understood the concept of Castlevania. I knew about the video game, but I never knew about the lore in the video game. So now I've just become more eager to find out if they're going to follow the lore with the video game. Because then I feel like I'm going to cry if they do.
Huh. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. So I don't want to say anything because I don't want to possibly spoil anything. Yeah. I don't know if I. So that's about it. But I highly recommend it for people who have not seen it, or if you've seen Seis Manos and you have not seen Castlevania, definitely check it out. It's done by the same studio. So I think, yup. And I think they do an awesome job of animating fight scenes. That's my favorite thing about it is all the fight scenes in both series, but specifically what they do in Castlevania. And when they're fighting monsters, and even when the monsters are fighting, they get them it's just so good, and it does a really good job of telling the story of Dracula in a different way,
in a beautiful way.
Right.
I want to marry him.
Right,
that
because
man is ride or die. If there is ride or die in the dictionary, it is freaking Dracula.
It is, and the thing is that Dracula, again, we both love horror. Mm-hmm. I think. For so many years, Dracula's been told in so many different ways where he's a calculating villain, where he's a strategic genius, where he's just a monster, with no sense of self. But this one is so good because it makes him human.
Yeah.
It makes it you feel for that man when he finds out that his wife was killed. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm giving spoilers. It's about the series, but whatever. It's the game's been out for forever, so it's not that different. But the point is,
also,
it's like
the anime has been out for forever.
Right, it's been 3 years.
There's only 2 seasons, but it's been a long time.
And the first season is 4 episodes, so y'all have no excuse. You're not Kate with the Promised Neverland. I only give her an excuse.
You're gonna get people on me again. You got the director of the writer of Seis Manos on me. So like,
wait, where was this?
Did you not see it? So shout out to Becca Bess. She added me, telling me to get on the Promised Neverland, and then
I saw that one.
Alvaro responded saying that she was right.
Send that to me, please. Girl. If we had a studio, that would be framed on the wall. Mm-hmm. But I did see Becca's. I missed that reply completely.
Yep. Called out by my favorite writer.
Yep, because they know, Kate, it's going to be I think we're approaching a year. No, Promise Neverland came out this year. So the point is, you got time.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, we went down a spiral there. But yeah, just watch Castlevania if y'all want to see a beautiful depiction of Dracula, and also monsters and carnage and gore and beautiful fight scenes. And Trevor.
Oh, Trevor, God. Fuck Trevor, marry Dracula. That's life.
I mean, you're not wrong. But what about Alucard?
It's sexy floating Jesus.
But see, you can't go from the son to the father.
Yeah, that's just weird. But that is very anime, if we're being real.
No.
If we're being real, that's some anime shit right there. And you know it.
Hey, that's some P. Diddy and Steve Harvey's daughter stuff right there.
That's fine. No, I will choose to fuck Trevor, marry Dracula, kill Alucard. I love Alucard, don't get me wrong. But I go in that order because Dracula loves like no other person.
That's true.
You can't just give it up.
It's so hard because Alucard, the way he cries, it hurt me.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I just want to give him a hug with my legs.
You're not wrong.
Just want to give him a hug with my legs.
All the hugs and all the legs. That's anime. That is a weeb's life in anime, is do I want to fuck this character?
Hey.
Am I wrong?
No, because 2D men can't hurt me. I'm not talking about physically.
You an anime pillow for your birthday?
Oh no, Kate, don't send that here.
You gonna get some cuddles?
Don't send that here. Hey, no, I get cuddles. But like, enough about me. Moving on to Kate. What did you watch?
I got on my trashy manga shit, and I watched Vampire Knight and Vampire Knight Guilty.
Of course you did.
I mean, come on. I've only been talking about sexy vampires for the last 3 days now.
I know.
Yeah, so I watched Vampire Knight Guilty, which, if you don't know, was like a 2008 anime based on a manga, and all you have to do is Google Vampire Knight or even Vampire Knight Guilty, and you will see that it is definitely a 2008 anime.
I'm gonna Google it.
So the plot is Yuki's earliest memory is of a stormy night in winter where she was attacked by a rogue vampire and rescued by Kaname Kuran, a pure blood vampire. Now, 10 years later, Yuki Cross, the adopted daughter of the headmaster of Cross Academy, Kaden Cross, has grown up and become a guardian of the vampire race, protecting her childhood crush Kaname from discovery as he leads a group of vampires at an elite boarding school. At her side is Zero Kiryu, a childhood friend whose hatred for the creatures that destroyed everything he held dear leaves him determined to never trust them. The coexisting arrangement seems all well and good, but have the vampires truly renounced their murderous ways? Or is there a darker truth behind their actions? In this world of secrets, nothing is as it seems. The price of misplaced trust may even be worse than death. Should Yuki truly find out what was in her past, is the truth going to hurt her worse than not knowing? Yeah, I made that real dramatic. I just love how
you read that. You did.
This show is extra. Like,
It
it's
is.
out
How
there.
extra? How
God.
extra is it? Their eyes take up 80% of their heads.
That's how you know. That is how you know it is like peak 2000s shoujo bullshit.
You
And then
right.
there's
It
like a
is.
minor incest plot. So that's how you know that it is peak. You
What?
didn't know that?
No,
Okay.
that went right over my
Okay,
head.
like this thing has been around for forever, so I'm gonna spoil it, but it's on Netflix and Hulu. You can go watch it both in dub and sub. But yeah, so she's actually a pureblood vampire who was made human,
Okay.
but
Sounds legit.
she was in love with her brother, who is Kaname, and they had babies together when they were both vampires.
No.
Yeah, but because
No.
she became a human, she forgot all of that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
So if that,
Mm.
yeah, it goes real out there. So I don't watch I don't watch like the last 5 episodes of Vampire Night Guilty because I'm just like, it says it's too much anime. You're going there. And you ain't got a good enough story for me to stay.
Right. I think that is, everyone has their weeb threshold when it comes to anime, like where you draw a line when it comes to certain anime tropes. For me, it's incest and and like that teetering pedophile thing, like where it's like, oh, they're like a teenager and I'm 28 years old. I'm like, nope, you're gonna stop that right there.
Yep.
You're a student. You're a student. That's a teacher. Nope. Not happening. Like all that stuff. And as soon as I find out some fuckery's afoot, no.
That being said, taking off Vampire Night Guilty, which is packaged as a second season in Hulu and Netflix, the first season of Vampire Night is actually a very good story with this like really thick sexual chemistry between Zero and Yuki. So I would watch the first season and skip the second season because the first season is actually really, really good. And when I was younger, I may have or may have not read some lemon fan fiction that took Yuki and Zero to places that they needed to go. But if you've listened to this podcast, you know that is what I do. So,
I mean, I feel like we both have agreed that there somewhere out there is our entitled fan fictions that we will never tell people where they can find them.
Yep.
Good luck to y'all. You'll never know what that username is. The content is still out there. I left things unwritten and I still get pings about people wanting me to write another chapter. It has been 10 years. I don't know what the fuck to write. But y'all are never gonna find it.
Nope.
But I will agree. I definitely like the first season, and that probably explains why I didn't know about the other stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Last season is off the rails, and also Zero and Yuki aren't the prime thing, which just frustrates me because I liked them and I really like Zero because he's like that. He's that white-haired anime boy who's very tortured, and I want to hug him.
There's just Inuyasha, this boy.
Alucard.
Alucard's blonde, but yeah,
he's pretty much white hair.
Yeah, we can count him. He got
playing there.
Yeah, you're right. But we're just gonna build out that list for you. But yeah, see, this completely explains it. I never finished the second season. I finished the first season. I was done. So that explains why that went completely over my.
Yep, it happens like a little over midway in the second season.
I'm shook. I'm shooketh.
Yep. Good luck, guys.
Well,
that's
you're trooper.
Watching.
I get it. No, Vampires is your brand now, or it's been your brand. But also, if Oscar Isaac or someone who knows Oscar Isaac listens to this, put that man as a vampire in something, please.
Yes.
Just gonna throw that out there. Put that out in the energy. You've already done your part. I'm just trying to do my part so we can make that a thing. And don't make him animated. Make him real life.
I also just want the world to know that I crossed 4,000 Twitter followers because of the intersection of sexy vampires and sexy Oscar Isaac. So thank you to that fandom.
Hey, right. There is an audience who will pay for it. All right. You ready to get into Ghoul?
Yes.
Or Tokyo Ghoul? Alrighty. So I have the synopsis from the film pulled up. So I'll just read the blurb of it. A college student is attacked by a ghoul a being that feeds on human flesh. He later receives an organ transplant from the ghoul, becoming part monster himself. Now he lives in a world in between the world of ghouls and humans, trying to sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Trying to navigate the world between ghouls and fight against his desire to feed on human flesh. There. Sorry, I couldn't hold the sneeze in.
Yeah, this is like, if you haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul before, like, Tokyo Ghoul is a standard, like, I'm a monster, I don't want to be a monster. I'm a monster, I don't want to be a monster. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe I can be a monster sometimes if it helps people.
Right. And it's like, oh, now I understand the monsters, and they're not that they're monsters. They're just like us, and they're just trying to survive.
And the humans are the real monsters.
Right. The plot twist. It's the humans that shouldn't be allowed to live.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. Everywhere. It's, I will say, so, like, let's just touch on the source before we dive too much into the movie. So the source, love the first season.
Yeah.
Like, first season's very solid. It's really good. And it does a really good job. In the first episode, I had no... real quick? Because, I said, like, the first season does a really good job of, like, if you were to just start watching it, you have no idea what's happening, like what was going to happen. So, like, excuse me, when, like, Kaneki was about to go, like, this whole, like, meeting the girl at the coffee shop and getting asked out on a date and all this stuff, and you, like, have no idea that she's a ghoul luring him to eat him the entire time because of, like, how the anime starts off. Yep. And then as she's about to eat him, I think her name is Riza. Like, I still don't remember if someone saved him or if it's just, like, it's a coincidence that there was a construction going on and, like, the building, like, the pieces crash on her. Yeah. And he was already injured, and they gave her organs to him, which, as I was watching that in the movie, I'm like, none of this makes sense. She's more damaged than he is. But then I realized she's a ghoul, so she's stronger. That's why they gave her organs.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that I thought too, because it wasn't until what's her face? The girl ghoul, the one that trains him. Kirishima. Toka. Toka. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when she says that their bones heal instantly. So I'm like, yeah, she's squished, but, like,
her organs.
Yeah, they were probably like repairing themselves, and then they found her, and they're like, "Ooh, these are good organs," and they didn't realize that she was a ghoul.
Right, that's true. But it's like but it's the scene when, like, she bites the shit. Like, and she, like, goes in for a hug, and he thinks, like, oh, this is great, I might have a girlfriend, and then she bites the shit out his shoulder. Yeah. I just kind of cackled. I'm like, oh shit. They went there. They actually showed her biting him and, like, have like chewing off bits of it. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be gory. Yep. Oh, so good. And then it's so good. But yeah, like, I definitely like the anime. I've read the manga, so I've read all the manga. The manga is now complete because I'm a weeb. But, like, the second season and then this goes for the manga too, like, the second half of it and then the second season of it, I am lost. It is a bit confusing.
Off the fucking rails, man. Like, and it doesn't even try to get on the rails, which is the problem.
I think it just got, like, they decided, like, okay, cool, fresh start here. We're gonna do a flash forward by, like, 4 or 5 years. And here's this person with white hair who you're still not sure who he is. Yep. But surprise, it's Kaneki. But it's still like, does he know he's Kaneki? It was confusing for me.
It was real confusing.
Right. But I will, like I said, the first season of the anime, love it. I will one day finish that second season of the anime. But even the manga, I kind of just, like, put it down for a while. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore here. So
yeah, and it's funny because, like, Tokyo Ghoul is something that I really watch all the time because I just love, like, the visuals of it and, like, itself. But, like, I rewatch season 1 all the time. I don't really touch anything else because I think season 2 goes into Tokyo Ghoul Re, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it's I don't know what's happening. That's Kaneki's mask. His hair
Right. And
white.
then
Like
right. So it's Tokyo Ghoul
yeah.
Re that I'm lost. And it's like so my bad. I misspoke. So I think so Tokyo Ghoul has 2 seasons, right?
Tokyo Ghoul has 1 season, and then
One season.
Tokyo Ghoul Re is 2. But the problem
Right.
is if you go into like, so I usually I came to it watching it on Hulu. It packages it all as the same thing. It doesn't
Right.
differentiate it. So if you're watching it chronologically, like in a Watcher, like Crunchyroll, Funimation, Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
it takes you from season 1 into Tokyo Ghoul Re season 1 into season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul Re, and it acts like it's
Mm-hmm.
all one story.
Right.
So I actually,
It's
because I was trying to find out what was happening in Tokyo Ghoul season 2, but I couldn't find it, and that was why I found out that it was actually Tokyo Ghoul Re.
right. So it's a bit confusing. And it just like it starts off even more confusing because you're wondering how the hell did we get here?
Yeah,
But it's still a great series.
it really is.
It's a really good series. It's like really good horror series for like I mean, I still don't know. I think of a ghoul, I think of them like they're not zombies. They're not like I think when I first think of ghoul, because like we've talked about Vampire in Brooklyn,
Yeah,
right? Okay, so I was rewatching it, and then I remember how the Eddie Vampire Maximilian turns I can't remember the character's name, Dwayne Wayne from a different
yeah.
world into a ghoul. So that like, and I think that like stuck to me like before we were doing this, and I'm just like, is that what a ghoul is? Like, like defined as in the dictionary? I just think of it as a monster though.
Yeah. No, I mean, so like I think ghoul is a concept that gets used in like a lot of different things. Like a
Right.
ghoul is also different in like supernatural and stuff. But like for
Mm-hmm.
here, I
True.
just don't really understand because I think like most of the time when ghouls get like told, like the basic lore behind a ghoul is it's like something without a soul. I
Mm.
think I'm pretty sure,
I feel like
but
that's one iteration of it is that they don't have souls or they
yeah.
don't like they're missing something that like humans don't have, but they look just like human.
Exactly, yeah. And I
Like
think at least for here, like in Tokyo Ghoul, I think that the ghouls are just like more intense vampires personally a little bit,
right,
but their bodies can do crazy things, which is really
right.
cool. But like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So now comparing it to the movie,
Yes.
how do you feel it compared?
The beginning is really close.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beginning of it is really close to being perfect.
Oh, I agree. Like that, I casting did
Mhm.
really well, and I will report no two terrible wigs.
Yeah.
I will. Well, nope. Sorry, the
So
dude in the white coat, but we'll get there. I
he's
forgot.
also where shit just goes off the rails. So like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like and off the rails in that like it was a very faithful adaptation until that man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I would agree. Yeah, because the beginning, it's almost like shot for shot. It captures everything that, like I said, like they go on a date, they meet in a coffee shop. She's luring him to kill him and eat him,
Mhm.
all this stuff. And then, like, even the scenes where, like, after he's like putting it together that he's a ghoul, like he's connecting the dots
Yeah.
of him, like how tortured he is, and like how he's so nauseous when he eats his favorite food. I thought that was really really good acting to
Yeah.
like because you're starving, you can't eat what you want to eat. Like nothing is like nothing can sate his hunger.
Yeah.
And it's just like in horror movies where it's just like someone who finds out they're a vampire and like, oh no, the hunger is like almost killing me,
Yeah.
and like I have to feed, but he's trying to fight it.
Yeah. And I think that that's like I think that's why like I think like the first half of this film is a solid horror movie. Like it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it does just that. Like in horror movies, like when people get turned into vampires for the first time, or they find out there's
Right.
zombies or werewolves, they run to the fridge and they're really hungry, but nothing is satiating them, and then they find that raw meat and they eat that raw meat, and that's a trope that gets done in horror. And here it gets
Mm-hmm.
done really well, but the cool thing that makes it interesting is like ghouls can't eat anything but human flesh. Like they like
Right.
everything tastes like shit to them. And so
Mm-hmm.
in that scene in particular, he like spills milk all over the place and there are clumps of food everywhere. And you have
Mm-hmm.
like this Japanese kaiden, like this Japanese like a like ghost story, like traditional J horror with the vision of the ghoul that turned him that way, like coming in, and it
Right.
gets like pure horror. I'm like, oh, this is actually really freaking good. And the guy who plays Kaneki, Masataka Kubota, uh,
Mm-hmm.
he does a. You're right. He acts it really well.
Oh yeah. Like a really good job. Like the look, like I think he does a really good job with the expressions throughout it too,
Yeah, he's
because
really
he sells
emotive
it.
with his face, and
Mm-hmm.
I think
Because again, oh, sorry, go
no, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I said again, we've seen so many like live action adaptations, and people try to replicate the characters' faces, and it doesn't always do it well.
Yeah,
I think with Tokyo Ghoul, it works because it's not that they make their characters look any more realistic than any other anime does, but it's more like it's the emotions of fear and like desperation that comes across really well when he does it.
yeah, and I think that it works too for Kaneki because like even in the anime, Kaneki doesn't really talk that much. Like Kaneki's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Kaneki until the end of that first season is a person that things just happen to.
True.
Like he's really reactive, and then like kind of like with most character arcs, he switches from being reactive to being
Mm-hmm.
proactive and like grows and gets that agency. But because of that, he doesn't talk a lot. So I think the casting of Kubota as Kaneki was like a really good, it was really good casting, like not necessarily like
Mm-hmm.
on look, but just in that guy's ability, like that actor's ability to just like tell a story with his freaking face. Like I did not need
Right.
him to say I'm hurting for me to know that he was hurting.
Right. That was really good. I enjoyed that for sure. Just because, again, we've seen some bad ones, but I
Oh
think
yes.
I think this guy really did a really good job with acting and just like selling it
Yeah, he
for the
really did.
character. Hmm. But yeah, like you said, I think the first half of it very solid horror, but
Mm-hmm.
then as we get to like that second half of it, it like okay, so it still follows the plot, and I understand they are kind of shoving in maybe the first seven
Yeah.
episodes as like this arc for this movie. So it's a significant amount of content, like
Yeah.
from when Kaneki is like becoming a ghoul to when he's like this ghoul who's very powerful and like, or at least like gone through a training montage and is strong enough to defend himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's coming to this acceptance of being a ghoul. And like so yeah, like I think about like 7 or 10 episodes he does like there's a lot of growth. So
Yeah.
like it's a lot to fit into a movie, but they do it and it's not too terrible, but it kind of goes off the rails where like what is it that triggers it? Oh, the girl, the baby, the girl ghoul, the little
Yeah.
girl and the mom, they find out that her husband has gone missing. So like they stay at the coffee shop, and that's kind of like where that's the plot for the rest of the movie is that
Yeah.
they find out that forgive me, I'm like forgetting all the names of like the organization and everything, but
The
basically the
doves.
organ. Hmm?
The doves.
Oh yeah, the doves. Like they find out that the doves have basically not kidnapped, have killed the husband, and is now, and then they learn that later on. But it's like as we're seeing it happen at the same time. It's like the doves are tracking down the mom and then the girl, and it's just like the dude who's playing the old man.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have just gotten an old man or an older man
Yeah.
to play that part.
Yep. But so like the other thing that I don't like about that old guy in the white
Mhm.
coat, um
Right.
hold on, look up his name.
Yeah, I was just trying to find it too.
Because I don't know who he is supposed to play in here, but I think like I think he's supposed to be playing the like ghoul hunter white haired kid guy. You
No, not that. So
is he
the
not
white-haired kid
supposed to
comes
be him?
later.
Okay, okay, because I
No,
thought that was the
but
first season, and I thought that they had just aged him up.
so his predecessor, like his
Oh,
student,
that's
I
right.
guess,
Okay,
is
yeah,
yeah.
never mind.
Um, that's one dude. But what is his name? Gosh dang it! I know the guy who's like he's training is Amon.
Yeah,
Like, um, but
because
shoot,
he
it's
was
like trying to
fine.
find. Yup, Amon look good in the anime
Was it
and in real
Rise?
life.
I
Let's
think Rise was
see.
his name.
Rise. Like Rizee?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Rize. That's the girl
Riza.
that
Oh,
killed Kaneki,
oh,
that
that's
tried to
right.
kill
Never mind.
Kaneki. Let's just put in white-haired man. It better not pop up with any other characters.
Dude, it's
White-haired
anime.
detective. I know.
Again,
Aha!
it's
I did it.
anime.
Nope, it worked. It worked. His name is Kurio Mato.
Okay.
So he's a first class ghoul investigator with and he's the partner of Ama.
There we go.
So in the first season he is like the main
Oh, that's
antagonist.
right. No, I remember him now. Okay, yep. I
Yeah.
don't know why I think I just like that little kid way more than I like him.
The kid is much more likable
He
than this man.
is. The
Because
kid
the
is also
man,
like way more menacing as well in a weird way.
right, like in this super bubbly, friendly, I'll also kill you
Yeah.
way. But like the man is just like, it's in a creepy way because it's like, okay, y'all are essentially murdering people. And his whole thing is like, you're not human.
Yep.
I can kill you. And I'm just like,
But
wow,
like the
really?
creepier thing is that he steals parts of
Right.
the ghouls and then
Mm-hmm.
fights with them.
Right. And it's like how so so they find a way to like track the girl and the girl and the mom. They track them. And then the girl is able to run away, get to Kaneki. The girl has to see her mother die. Or like it doesn't see it because Kaneki's trying to stop her. But then it's like, so they kill the mother. And then he decides to use what are they called? They're I was gonna say tail things. I still don't know what they're called.
I
I
don't
swear
know what
y'all
they're
look.
called. They're just like extensions of their body.
Right. And it's like still hard to like have an like
They
this
like
true
project these
king
things.
so
Huh?
so they're called he calls them kinke.
Okay.
Like that's what they turn that's what the weapons are called. Okay, so the ghouls, like when it's a part of the ghoul's body, it's the ka ku ko. I swear I probably messed that up. But anyways, it's like Kate said, it's an extension of their body. It's like some of them come in forms of tails or wings, but it's their way of like defending themselves or fighting.
Yeah.
Um
I.
and
Sorry, go ahead. I'll bring it up in a minute.
nope, you
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no. Keep going. It's coming up.
Okay, and so the man, like you were saying, the man, he's a killer basically in my mind because he collects the parts and turns them into weapons and adds them to collections. And his whole thing about like hunting the child, he uses the mother's kinke to draw the child out.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so creepy. And he's like, well, I have to complete the set. I'm like, you
It's
are
so fucked.
vile.
It's so
Right.
fucked.
Oh,
And so like
okay.
the part where she realizes what happened when he realizes is because like the mom had kind of like these like butterfly wings that would come out, which I'm describing them way prettier seeming than they are. They're like giant like butterfly
It's like
wings.
Mothra.
Moth
Like Mothra.
wings. Yeah, like moth wings, but they're made out of flesh.
Right.
So it looks real weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the mom
It
had
makes
those and used them to like protect herself and to fight. And then
mm-hmm.
like obviously like so her when the little girl shows up, it's just her mom's arm on the ground, and so she doesn't know what happened.
Right.
You kind of assume that the mom died, but like ghouls are ghouls, they can survive without an arm. But then he takes out the kinke that is the wings, and you're like, oh shit. And the daughter starts crying and screaming, and in the anime that part hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like there was enough emotion in the movie.
Right. And I blame that on pacing. Again, it's like they're trying to cram a lot
Yeah.
into it. And we at least had like 3 to 4 episodes of the girl and the mom and like why
Yeah.
we like and like understanding like more about them. Like they're just a regular family. They're just trying to survive just like everybody else. And like it's like you learned about the girl having a difficult time like trying to talk to people. So like I think you like we can easily like her more. I'm not saying I don't like the character or the actress. I'm just saying like it's easier to like her in the anime because you've had more time with her.
Yeah.
Whereas like this is all happening in the course of a weekend. It
Yeah.
feels
That's
like,
fair.
but yeah, it's traumatic when you think about it. Like, oh God, this man is using parts of her mother's body
Yeah. And
and father's body and about to try to kill her. And these are like things that she recognizes as like safety.
yeah, and I think that a lot of it too, like a lot of it comes from the fact that like at the end of the day, like it we just there isn't enough like emotion built between us and them. Like there's emotion,
Hmm.
and I also don't feel like there's enough emotion built between them and Kaneki. Like I think
Yeah.
obviously it's there because Kaneki is just like a good person,
Hmm.
but it's not enough for me to bring that kind of emotion that like I wanted from that scene.
Right. Like Kaneki, like in the in everything, puts his nose where he don't need to.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just like, well, we gotta help, we gotta change things, and it's just like, huh, the privilege you have, sir. Do you
Yeah.
think we would have like not? Do you think we want to eat humans? Do you think like when he first comes to the coffee shop and he's like, well, they don't look like ghouls. And then the dude, the barista is like, well, does she look like a ghoul? Do I look like a ghoul? What do you think ghouls look like?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, they're not all monsters who are just trying to kill people because they want to. It's like the only way they can survive. And I'm like, first off, I'm not justifying cannibalism. The point is that Kaneki has like this moment where he realizes they're just trying to survive. And the ghouls at the coffee shop, the one, like, I felt bad, like, not remembering the name. The whole point of the coffee shop is that it's a safe haven for the
Yeah.
ghouls, so that they can come and get meat that isn't from murdering humans. Like the way they get their meat in the anime, I don't think they really showed it um, in the live action, but in the anime, they just go and find people who commit suicide,
Yeah.
and they respectfully take the body. They treat it with respect, and then they, chop it up and hand it out to people, so people don't have to murder humans.
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm not condoning any of this. I'm just saying like they've found a better way to survive than killing humans like most other ghouls do.
Yeah.
So at least, and that's their philosophy, is that they want to live in peace with humankind.
Yeah, and there's that part where like I forget his name, but like the head of the coffee shop of the thing says like, "Want to know a secret? I actually
Mm-hmm.
like humans."
Right.
Like
Oh, and he's such a good character in the anime
he
too.
really is.
He's just like a good father figure, grandfather figure to everybody. But yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm. But back, so we were talking about, oh yeah, so the creepy man, that wig was terrible.
Yes,
And
and it sucks because everything else in the movie is so good. Like the costume design and the
yep.
makeup and their hair are good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell
Toka's was
happened to this
great.
man.
I mean, it's not that hard. I don't know if they were trying to make him look scraggly, like he don't wash his hair.
Yeah, I mean they succeeded if that was the
I guess.
case.
I mean, he looks creepy in the anime, but I think when they
It's like a
messed up,
different kind of creepy.
right, they should have just casted an older actor, and I think that might have helped, because you can definitely look at that man and say like that man got to be 30,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to be paying someone who is in their like 60s.
Yeah.
So it's like, because he looks like a frail old man in the anime, and I'm not trying to be a stickler or anything, but like putting a 30-something actor into a wig and making him crouch over doesn't make him look older.
Yeah.
It just makes him look odd with that wig on his head.
Yeah.
And it's like his partner, Amon looked like he was older than him.
He did. He
I'm just
really,
like,
really did. So I honestly think that might be why I'm just kind of like, yo, was this supposed to be the little kid?
yeah, you're not wrong, because he definitely doesn't look the age of the character that he's playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if that was supposed to be the little kid, I'd be upset. Because fun fact, a sequel came out earlier this year.
Yes, Tokyo Ghoul S.
Mm-hmm. So, and that one's covering, I think, like the second half of the first season. You know, not like not the big reveal, but like maybe like I guess like the second third of the first season, whatever. Where it's like he meets some more ghouls,
Yeah.
and it's the one with the one where the ghouls fight of like had the fight club.
That it gets real dark, real quick, real fast.
Right. Yup. And like fighting ghouls to the death and a death match.
Yeah.
And the ghoul who's like this super connoisseur of like
of eating people.
Of eating people. Like he's like the Gordon Ramsay of the ghoul.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. It gets real dark. So we'll be ready for that whenever Funimation decides to put it on there and not take it away from us.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I do want to say too, like as bad as the guy's wig was, I do think the way that they designed Kaneki's ghoul mask was good. It looked
it's real good.
Really good. And that's something that I felt like could easily go cartoonish, and it didn't.
Right.
It was really good. And it was really good when he opens it to take a chunk out of the guy he's fighting. Like it was really good. Like the blood dripping off. And like the one thing I didn't like was the finger thing he did, because he did that's what anime characters do.
Oh yeah.
And it just looked weird when a human did it. But that's it. That's my only thing.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't like that. I didn't care for that either. Now that you talk about it.
Yeah, it just looked awkward.
Yeah, and I feel like it was very easy for a lot to look awkward in this movie.
Yeah.
And I will say there's not a lot that happened, because like I was definitely thinking the mask was gonna be a problem. Like they were gonna try to like make it look more. I don't know. I think they did a perfect job. Like you said, it's like something that could have definitely came off differently.
Yeah.
But I think they did a really good job. I do kind of wish we could have built up more with Toka.
Yeah.
With like her whole thing, because she has she has a pretty significant part in the whole series.
Yes.
But especially in the first season, where like I wanted to see her like going to school, like her being at school as a ghoul.
Yeah.
And like how she has to like put on this facade, and she's like they did it a bit, like when her friend comes and like, hey, I brought you this lunch since you're at work, and I thought like you could try it, and like I made it for you. And it's just like, yeah, of course. I mean, like I'm on break right now, but I'll eat it.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing that you lose too by having her part be so small is in the anime she has a crush on her friend, and that's why she's forcing herself to like be sick while like eating that stuff. It's because she really, really likes her. And I guess they don't explicitly say it, but it's like one of those like Japanese anime things where it's like it's implied.
It's hinted at.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like, why are you putting yourself through so much? And she's like, because she's my friend. And I'm like, let me go watch this in the sub.
Yep.
I don't think it's that you're just friends, but okay.
Yeah, which,
sure.
Fun fact, if you like us, you should go watch Get in the Robot on YouTube. They have an entire episode about dubs erasing a queer identity.
There's plenty of that.
Most recently, Evangelion on Netflix.
Wow, I saw people being mad about that. Oof. Nope.
Thank you, America.
Yeah.
And 4K.
I mean, Sailor Moon. We go and talk about the multiple queer characters.
Cousins flirting with each other were more acceptable, apparently.
That's not how I hugged a cousin.
Thank you, Alabama.
I never hugged my cousin that way. Flowers in the background. Or like, remember like the dark Crystal Kingdom, like the men,
Yes. Yeah.
they had a whole
Yes.
relationship.
Well, and they turned I think in the dub they turn not Zoisite, but the other one. The one who's
Yeah,
more feminine, they gender him as a woman.
right. Which I'm just like, y'all really did this, and we did not notice it until like we were older.
Yep.
It's effed up. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
real messed up. But you know what? It's fine. We know better now. You can't fool us. We can go watch the subs. We can read faster.
Exactly. And the cool thing is the dubs of Sailor Moon Crystal have fixed all of that.
Right. Which I really enjoyed for that.
I
Like
did
it
too.
gives a lot of clarity. Cause like I think when I was like maybe college and I rewatched Sailor Moon again just because I could at the time, and I realized, hold on, pause. Like I knew about the cousins. I knew that. But like the men, they had a thing going on. I'm like, they lied to us.
They
But
really
anyway,
did.
sorry.
Really,
But
really
yes,
did.
check out Get Into the Robot because I think that would be a very interesting thing for a lot of people to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where are we? Oh yeah, but yeah, with Toka, like you said, like because they do Toka a lot.
Yeah.
Just like her whole thing is just about revenge. Honestly, towards like the I guess revenge and saving Kaneki.
Yeah.
Which true, that's a big part in in season 1 when she's like looking out for Kaneki and like is very is vengeful, but there's more to her than that.
Yeah.
Like I liked seeing her navigate through the human world and like because she was alone, like the whole like she doesn't have family and she's been on her own for a long time, and how the coffee shop gives her a place where she has a connection to her community and everything. And what was it? I just think it was really important for that character to see that she just wants to be a teenage girl.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to have to eat. Like that's the thing, she's struggling. She has this inner struggle with herself. Do you think we would be this way if we wanted to?
Yeah, because it's one of those things that's frustrating too. Because when they first introduce her, they kind of get at it because she tells Kaneki like, "I bet you love cake. I don't know what that tastes like." And then she like lists all the things that she wished she could have, but she never got a chance to. And it
Right.
sucks because outside of that one part, you're completely right in that they reduce her to just this revenge-driven woman
Mm-hmm.
versus like somebody who desperately wants to be human and somebody who is somebody who's just doing her best.
Right. And she is. And like her whole thing is that like she doesn't want to take things lying down when it comes to like like her people like being oppressed. And like I think that's a really great thing, but it's like it just really reduces it to being like they killed them, so I'm gonna go kill them too. But it's like no,
instead
it's
of
more
actually
than that.
because they don't actually like go through and like discuss the oppression piece and like
Mm-hmm.
they just put it as like I have to get back at them, I have to
Right,
do
because
something.
her dad was killed. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was a huge thing in the series. Like her dad being killed, it changed her.
Yep.
And then it's like but she still finds a way to be friends with humans, and she's not doing it as an act, as some
Exactly.
other girls do. Like she genuinely still wants to be friends with humans, but she's also hiding the secret. Like so, she's a multifaceted character, is what we're getting at.
Yep.
Like there's more to her, but I just feel like there was a missed opportunity to do more with her.
Yep.
And I feel like with season 2 coming, not season 2, but with like the sequel out now, I hope to see that and hope to see there's more there. But I'm also not holding my breath.
Yeah, that's real fair.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see what happens from there. I guess I had a question. How did you like the fight scenes with the ghouls?
So like I liked the fight scenes when it wasn't too much CG. It's not that I had a problem with the CG. I just actually thought that the fight choreography was pretty well done. Like
Mm-hmm.
I much more like Kaneki's fight scene at the end versus
Right.
Toka's cuz Toka's is so reliant on like CG jump.
Right.
Whereas like I feel like Kaneki's is way more grounded and you actually get to see him like do more physicality and it keeps it's more
Right.
interesting to me that way.
Mm-hmm. And his whole thing is definitely learning his power. So he's
Exactly.
like, and I think that was really dope to see.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to interrupt
No,
you.
you're good. Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, the CG, like when it was, it felt like there was the part when he and the other guy, Ghoul, the pharmacy student,
Yeah.
like the dude who will not appear again in this movie after this, but I'm sure he's going to appear in the sequel. Um, but that whole thing with them, I liked how they made their I'm just gonna say ghoul tails. I'm sorry, y'all.
They pretty
I'm a
much
fake
they're
weeb.
ghoul
Like
tails.
ghoul tails, like DuckTales. Um, but I liked how like they like his kind of made me think of Alien, like how it moved. So I
Yeah.
liked that. But yeah, it was just like some parts it just felt like a lot of CG.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like took me out of the fight. So I think I preferred more of like you said, like the end mechanic with his like whole fight against Amon and it being more physical.
Yeah.
And it's like show like that was really cool. And then like them like and then Kaneki using his ghoul tail
Yeah.
like more in the fight towards the end was good too.
Yeah. And it was more like strategic rather than like
Mm-hmm.
relying on it.
Right. Because you're right. Toka's is completely heavily relied on CGI. Like she can fight. She's strong, but it's like everything she does with her gold wing.
Yeah, going.
Yep.
Kaneki has a ghoul
We're,
tail and she has a ghoul wing.
yep, we're totally nerds, y'all. Please believe us. I'm joking. We can't
We're
remember. Y'all can't
American
expect us
weebs. Let's
anything.
get that right.
We're,
We don't know
right.
the
And
right
I don't want
names
to
for stuff. I don't pretend to be Japanese like some of those other weebs.
You know what? Right. And I'd rather give them names than mispronounce something and butcher it. So y'all can deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it. I'm hoping with the sequel, like I'm doubting it's gonna head toward like because the last 3 episodes of the first season are my favorite, or maybe 4, because that's when shit really hits the fan.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna see it in the next movie. So I hope they make a third one and we see that
Yeah.
because it gets really crazy and more dark. And I feel bad for Connie for everything he's gonna go through up to this is the last time y'all might see this man happy,
Yeah.
semi happy.
Yep. And it
So,
goes downhill from
whew,
there.
yup, it just I really wish I could say he will have better days in the next movie. He probably won't. So yeah, but y'all can go and check out the first season, and if you're go and watch Tokyo Ghoul read, and see how y'all like that.
Yep.
Oh, but now let's give it our rating. So, what would you give this?
Um. Oh yeah, and if this is your first time listening, we rate our movies on how much we had to drink to get through them.
Yep.
I would probably give it a 1. Like, I don't really need a drink, but I would kind of like one. It's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best we've watched, but it is like that front half of it is strong. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a strong horror movie, and it's really faithful. So like, I'm hoping with Tokyo Ghoul S, and I'm hoping we get a chance to see it,
Mm-hmm.
that they've actually kind of like gotten better CG, which I mean they might not have, but like Bleach had some pretty good
Yeah.
CG. Um
Right.
and I mean, yeah, there's a lot more. Like, I think if that back half hadn't been so rushed, we could have got more development for Toka, more development for the mother and the daughter between Kaneki. And yeah, I mean, it's a strong first half. I don't hate it like at all. I really like it. I would watch it again, like no worries. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, probably 1 or 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna take one with a shot. So give me one drink and then I'm gonna be specific. It can be a White Claw. And then I'll take a shot. Because I hope that gives a good description of where I put this movie. Because you're right, it's not the worst that we've watched. The first half is, I think, what makes me be very lenient with it
Yeah.
because casting's great, acting's great. They do a really, really good job with like making it almost shot for shot. And it's not to say that every adaptation has to be shot for shot, but it is nice that they didn't try to like. I like that they didn't try to ground a lot of stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they didn't try to ground the ghouls. They didn't try to make it be like make it more convoluted. Like say like oh ghouls were created by scientists and then the blah blah, blah
Oh.
like be
Is
some
that shade of Full Metal Alchemist?
maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm sorry. I apologize. No, I'm not sorry. But because I'm tired of seeing that happen. These like where they're going to ground something
Yeah.
in order to make it seem believable. But like anime, especially when it comes to like different genres of like horror, fantasy, magic, it's not supposed to be grounded. You don't have to explain why something is the way it is.
Yeah.
Because the ghouls are never explained in like this in the series in the source material. They just exist, or at least like from my memory, I think they just have always existed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that. And it doesn't have to be this whole, ooh, let's make it so that, you know, they were an experiment gone wrong and then they ran away and started populating. And before you know it, here they are. Or we summoned them from the depths of hell.
Yeah.
Like it's just nice that things are the way they are. And then they tell the story. So I'll take a white claw and a shot. And yeah, and I watched this movie twice. So I didn't not like it. I enjoyed it. It just went off the rails a little bit. And yeah, if we had more time and if it wasn't so rough, I think if this had been a series, which I feel like most times when they make a series of a live action, there's not really a point to it. But then also, there's been live action series that we've watched that have been pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and I think that works for them better because they know that they have content to use. So maybe that's where I'm going with this. Maybe this would have been really well if they did like a series because this is a very dramatic show. They could have made this an hour-long drama series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I digress. That is my rating. So let's say something nice.
Yeah, so something nice. It's a really strong horror movie in the beginning. Like you had me. Really good, and the acting's really good too. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So ditto. Also, Amon.
Yeah.
Amon is hot.
Amon is really good looking.
Yep, and we get to see him work out.
Yes.
Yep. So can't complain. Those are my two nice things. And now the question, our namesake, did they have to?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm good with it.
I'm gonna say yes too, and I think it's just because I love the first season of the anime so much. I wanted to back on the second season, but it's a really good series, and it's a really good story.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think it's sometimes like there's stuff that there's just some things that don't have to be a live action, and there's some things that do that I will stand by and say that they do. So I will say this one is. Yep. And with that, where can they find us, Kate?
You can find the podcast at DYHT_pod on Twitter. It is where we're active, it's where you can talk to us, and it's where you can join the conversation. And you can find me at OMFRander on Twitter, where I'm just making really sexy Oscar Isaac vampire castings, and that's all.
You were making the content that people need. I mean, if you like, have you used the GIF of him fingers?
No, but I've had many people put that on mine.
It's the best. Okay, no, that's good. And y'all can also find me on Twitter. It's at LA_NEY_SHA. You know, you can usually find me there throwing out cosplay inspirations from Fashion Nova and Forever 21. Who knows? Maybe I'll have something for y'all before Halloween. But yeah, that's about it. And with that, will Kate write a Oscar Isaac vampire movie by next year? Will we ever be able to watch Tokyo Ghoul S on Funimation? And will Kate's taste buds ever come to their senses and not like candy corn? Find out next time on Did You Have To?
Really, girl? Really?
Yep.
Really? You're gonna shave a candy corn? That's
Yep.
what you're gonna do. Okay.
Yep. I still love you.
Mm.
I still love you.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy your sugar wax candy.
Oh my god.
Happy spooky season.
Oh dear.